everyone, and welcome to another segment of AstrologyAnswers.com's weekly forecast. My name is Terence Scardino. The week begins on Monday, October the 21st. And on Monday, pleasure-seeking, harmonious, creative Venus is in harmony with empathetic, imaginative Neptune. It can be a very romantic day, great for compassion and empathy and charity, great for artists, great for performers. But before I continue with the week, next Sunday, the 27th, is the next new moon. So as I say once a month, that the week before the new moon, it's the last lunar cycle, the last quarter moon cycle. So it is a wrapping up of from the new moon from 3 weeks ago. Usually from the full moon through that week, which was all last week, is when everything comes to light. We're reorganizing, we're deciding what's working, what's not working. And then the last week, which is now, can be a winding down or a holding pattern, waiting. It's like, okay, what's next? It can also still be when you're bringing a lot of resolution or closure. The thing is, it's about wrapping up, letting go, waiting, endings in general. That's what the last week before the new moon is about. Well, it's not a good time overall to be launching any major new projects because the energy, the lunar cycle is winding down. And if you're trying to launch a new business, you're swimming against the tide. It doesn't mean it's the kiss of death, but it does mean there's more struggle, there's more effort to get any kind of new projects progressing along. So keep that in mind this week. But next Sunday is the next new moon, and over those next 2 weeks, that is when you can start moving forwards with new projects, except Mercury's going retrograde October 31st. So more with that next week. So on Monday, you have this beautiful Venetian energy, excellent with Neptune. It's so loving and romantic, inspiring and creative. And the moon is in romantic, outgoing Leo. So it's a really good day for socializing and reconnecting and maybe having a little romance. And the moon will stay in Leo through Tuesday. The moon changes signs every 2.5 days. The moon has a lot to describing the general public attitude or reactions. Leo is more fiery, more outgoing, extroverted, more romantic. These are all the qualities of Leo. But by mid-Wednesday, it's moving into Virgo through into Thursday. And Virgo is more work-oriented, more sensible. It's sort of like with all that fun and games with Leo, it's like we got to get back to the job and do our duties and clean the house and finish the paperwork. That's just kind of that Virgo energy. But on Wednesday, on the 23rd, the sun is moving into Scorpio for those next 4 weeks. Scorpio is, even if you are in the southern latitudes, Scorpio is ruled by Pluto. And Pluto in Western mythology was the lord of the underworld. So in the northern latitudes, as we're going into the end of October, November, we're going into the period of Scorpio, we're going into autumn. And when you're seeing a definite change in the seasons, where it's getting colder. But still, if you're in Australia or in Bali or in South Africa, it may not be about the weather, but it's still the Scorpio and it's still a time of pulling within. And now, Mercury, which is interesting, went into Scorpio October the 3rd. Now, what's interesting about that is, I think I've already talked about this, Mercury is about information and curiosity, making decisions. It's going to retrograde in Scorpio on October 31st, and then stay in Scorpio until November the 20th, and then move forwards in Scorpio until December the 9th. So it's going to be in Scorpio for almost 2.5 months. Usually it's only there for 3 to 4 weeks. So the collective mind that's the mind of Mercury, is all on Scorpio. Scorpio is pulling within, being more reflective, thinking about how the year went. But also, Scorpio rules secrets. And Mercury is trying to Mercury is trying to learn about the secrets. The Sun is putting a real spotlight in Scorpio on secrets. And look what's going on in governments with all these government secrets coming out. And that's going to intensify with the Sun moving into Scorpio. But it's also a time of soul searching, reflecting, going within, sort of like as we're getting ready for the winter and our hibernation when animals pull within. Thursday, the moon is still in Virgo, more this pragmatic, common sense energy. Friday now, pleasure-seeking social Venus is going to be in harmony with Pluto. Pluto, the ruler of the underworld. But what's in harmony, it brings a lot more depth and authenticity. Venus to Pluto can trigger a day of connecting to your partner on a deeper level, being really attracted to somebody new on a really infatuated level. In your existing relationships, this is Venus to Pluto, you could just feel more intimacy, more of a connection. And in the midday, the moon leaves Virgo and moves into social Libra for the weekend. And then, of course, Sunday is the new moon. But even though those last couple of days, which is the darkest of the cycle of the moon, but very favorable for meditation, retreats, wanting to do a lot of soul searching, there's a lot of this social energy going on. So instead of being so heavy, and as you're waiting for something to shift and to change, could be good. Friday, Saturday to go out, be with friends, keep it light, keep it casual. But yes, this is a very important week because it's the last week before the next new moon. Before I sign off, I want to tell you that I have this one question offer for a nominal fee. You can find a direct link in the description box below the video. So I want to thank you for tuning in. I hope to see you next week with my next segment. Until then, have a great week.